Welcome to Deep Dive. Today we're taking a fascinating look, really, into the evolving journey of Indian IT professionals in the global landscape. For many, moving abroad represents, well, incredible opportunities, but it also comes with unique challenges, both personal and systemic. We'll explore the vibrant tech scenes in Europe, the complex realities of living on work visas in the United States, and also this growing trend of professionals choosing to return home. It's a story of ambition, adaptation, and that constant search for balance. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. Europe, it's emerged as a significant and maybe increasingly attractive destination for Indian tech professionals. What's driving this shift? Why are so many looking beyond, say, the traditional places?
Well, fundamentally, it's about supply and demand. Europe is actively seeking skilled workers. They have aging populations, persistent labor shortages across many tech sectors. In fact, 2021 saw a record number of unfilled vacancies there.
Wow.
And Indian tech workers, they're highly regarded for their skills, their talent, their work ethic. It makes them a natural, highly qualified fit for these growing needs. What's really insightful here, I think, is how different European countries, despite their varied cultures and immigration histories, seem to be converging on a similar strategy. They're leveraging skilled immigration to solve, a looming demographic issue and fuel economic growth.
That's a powerful incentive for sure.
Yeah.
So are there common threads across Europe that appeal specifically to Indian talent? Or does each country offer something, unique? And which ones are really rolling out the red carpet, so to speak?
There are definitely commonalities, primarily the need for highly educated IT professionals. You see, over 57% of Indian professionals in places like Germany, for instance, they're in specialist roles requiring higher education. It really highlights their qualifications. And generally, English is widely spoken in professional tech environments across the continent. That definitely eases the transition. But when you look closer, some countries really stand out. Take Germany. It's become incredibly popular. We're talking nearly 34,000 Indian immigrants relocating there for work annually.
34,000, that's a lot.
It is. And policies there have liberalized significantly since around 2000, specifically to attract skilled workers, especially in IT. Key demand areas include some really cutting-edge fields like embedded and VLSI systems. That's very large-scale integration, crucial for chip design.
Right.
Also e-commerce, gaming, robotics, network equipment. Average IT workers there earn around $70,000 per year. Common permits, things like the EU Blue Card.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's basically a work permit for highly skilled non-EU citizens, and also the standard work visa for qualified professionals.
So Germany sounds like a big volume opportunity. How does a country like the Netherlands compare? Is it similar?
The Netherlands offers a slightly different picture, though, equally compelling in its own way. They also liberalized their immigration policies back in the mid-2000s. Again, severe skilled worker shortages, particularly in sectors like chemicals, energy, high tech. Indian nationals actually secured the most IT work permits there in 2016.
Interesting.
And beyond just the jobs, which are robust, factors like excellent living conditions, a really high quality of life, and that widespread English language use are huge attractions, especially for those prioritizing lifestyle.
Right, that makes sense.
There's strong need for project managers, IT trainers, analysts, consultants, and specialists in key enterprise software like SAP and Oracle, Java too. Foreign-born IT workers earn high wages, with Asian-born individuals often making over 5,000 euros a month. And the highly skilled migrant permit is common there. It's unique because it's based solely on salary.
Just salary, not the specific job.
Exactly, which offers great flexibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sweden, we often hear about its social systems. Is it also seeing an uptick in Indian tech talent?
Absolutely. Migration from India to Sweden is maybe a more recent phenomenon. The turning point was around 2008 when policies shifted to attract highly skilled workers. Indians are now Sweden's largest non-EU migrant worker group.
Really? Largest?
Yeah. Reasons for choosing Sweden often include its renowned public services, beautiful landscapes, excellent social welfare system. It offers a strong sense of stability. There's a projected need for over 70,000 new tech workers by 2024, so the demand is definitely there.
70,000, wow.
In-demand IT jobs include IT operations engineers, software and applications developers, network and system technicians, systems analysts, a pretty broad broad range. English is widely spoken, making integration smoother. Work permits include the EU Blue Card, like Germany, and also a temporary residence permit to seek employment for up to 9 months. Gives people a window.
Okay, and finally, what about France? Is it part of this trend too?
France is definitely an emerging player. While the Indian community there is smaller compared to, say, Germany or the UK, it is growing, especially for IT expats. France expects a shortage of about 1.5 million highly skilled workers by 2030.
1.5 million, that's huge.
Massive demand. And a Franco-Indian partnership agreement back in 2021 has made it easier for skilled Indian workers to relocate. That signals a real government-level commitment. Paris, in particular, is a thriving tech hub. Strong specializations in data science, fintech, biotech, food tech, diverse fields.
Very. In-demand roles include data analysts, systems analysts, programmers, developers with Java, C#, SAP, Oracle experience, pretty standard high-demand skills. And France offers various visa schemes, circulation visas, long-stay visas like the passport talent, which is designed to attract really top-tier global talent. Okay, so it's clear Europe is opening its doors, offering this compelling blend of opportunity and quality of life. But the story isn't universal, is it? While Europe offers these promising paths, the traditional magnet for tech talent, the United States, presents a starkly different picture, often fraught with, well, systemic hurdles and personal challenges, especially around those visa complexities and long-term well-being.
That's exactly right. The United States relies heavily on the H-1B visa program for skilled foreign workers. And it's a critical point that Asian Indians made up nearly 3/4, 75% of all H-1B petitions in 2018.
3/4. That shows just how central they are to the U.S. tech scene.
Absolutely. The initial visa is for 3 years, extendable up to 6.
But that H-1B system, it comes with significant constraints, doesn't it? Especially for families. It's not just about the individual worker.
Absolutely. And this is where the profound challenges really begin. H-1B visas are employer dependent. That means workers can lose their visa status if they're terminated. That creates immense precarity, limits their negotiation power.
Yeah, a lot of uncertainty.
And their spouses and children often come on H-4 dependent visas. Now, a huge challenge for H-4 holders is that they generally cannot work. Not unless they obtain an employment authorization document, an EAD. And getting that approved can take years.
Years without being able to work.
Years. A recent study found nearly 74% of H-4 participants were unemployed. Despite many holding college degrees, even leaving high-paying jobs back in India, can you imagine? Having a successful career, moving with your family, and then just being unable to contribute economically for years.
That must be incredibly difficult. So what does this all mean for the human element and the mental health side? This dependency, this uncertainty, it must take a heavy toll. You mentioned a study showing moderate levels of stress, depression, mild anxiety for married Asian Indians on H-1B and H-4 visas.
Yes, and the impact is even more pronounced for the H-4 visa holders. They experience slightly higher stress, depression, and anxiety compared to the H-1B holders and the unemployed H-4s. They showed even higher levels of psychological distress, things like suboptimal functioning in areas like positive emotions, engagement, meaning, accomplishment.
That sounds really tough.
Along with higher feelings of loneliness. And what's particularly insightful here is that the study found well-being, just general well-being, was the only significant factor explaining marital satisfaction for both H-1B and H-4 groups.
The only one.
The only significant one. It just highlights how critical personal well-being is to the overall family happiness in these difficult circumstances. It's not just about the job, it's about the entire family's ability to actually thrive.
And beyond that personal well-being, there's this looming issue of long-term residency. The green card situation. It brings its own unique set of anxieties, I imagine.
Oh, definitely. The employment-based green card backlog in the U.S. is substantial. We're talking nearly 1 million lawfully present foreign workers and their families affected.
1 million people waiting.
Yes, and that backlog is projected to double by fiscal year 2030. Indian nationals overwhelmingly dominate this queue. They often face waits of decades. Some projections even suggest the wait could exceed their lifetimes.
Decades. Possibly lifetimes. That's astonishing. Why such extreme wait times for people who are already there working, contributing?
Well, it really boils down to a fundamental structural flaw in the U.S. immigration system. The annual allocation of employment-based green cards, it's 140,000 total, with about 120,000 for the top 3 categories people usually fall into. That number is just far outstripped by the sheer number of new petitions filed each year.
So demand vastly outpaces supply.
Vastly. And on top of that, there's 7% per country country ceiling. This means that countries like India, which send large numbers of highly skilled workers, are disproportionately affected. To put that into perspective, it means an equally qualified Indian professional could wait decades longer than someone from a smaller country,
Just because of where they were born.
purely because of their birthplace. It's a stark contrast in immigration equity, really, and this creates significant hardships. Workers can't easily switch jobs without potentially resetting their green card process. They live with this profound uncertainty even after building lives, buying homes, and there's the constant fear of non-citizen children aging out at 21 and facing deportation.
Aging out.
Yeah, if the parent's green card isn't approved by the time the child turns 21, the child loses their dependent status. More than 200,000 children who were brought legally to the U.S. on H-4 visas face this very real possibility. It's a system that effectively punishes high-skilled talent from certain countries.
Given these really profound challenges in the U.S., it's maybe not surprising that we're seeing this fascinating and growing shift. More Indian professionals are now actively considering or even making the move back home. It's a reverse migration that speaks volumes.
It absolutely does. Recent data from the Boston Consulting Group shows a pretty significant drop in Indians willing to work abroad. It went from 78% in 2020 down to 54% in 2023.
That's a big drop in just 3 years.
Huge. And the new preferred destinations for many. Increasingly, Indian cities like Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Delhi. This isn't just a trickle, it feels like a substantial demographic shift in mindset.
So beyond just escaping the challenges abroad, what's driving this reverse migration home? What's the pull factor from India itself?
Well, financial and career considerations are still important, naturally. 52% choose India for the quality of job opportunities now available, 37% for income and cost of living comparisons, 29% for innovation and digitalization happening there. But personal factors are becoming increasingly vital. You hear it again and again.
Like what specifically?
A strong desire for a family-friendly environment, safety, security, and just an overall better quality of life that feels culturally aligned. Many are finding that India's booming tech sector, particularly in cities like Hyderabad, offers really competitive opportunities, but without those systemic visa hurdles and the associated stress.
And we've heard some incredibly compelling stories from individuals who've made this big life change. They really underscore those personal factors, don't they?
Indeed. There was one professional, S. Sudarshan Rao. He returned from the UK after really struggling to find relevant employment after his master's. He even ended up settling for a convenience store job for a while.
Wow, after a master's.
Yeah. He's now back in Hyderabad with a 6-figure salary. His experience kind of highlights that sometimes the grass isn't greener, the opportunities at home have caught up. Another story, Khatan Qureshi from Canada. He found his monthly expenses just exceeded his earnings. A ticket home was literally cheaper than paying next month's bills.
Yeah.
A very stark financial reality.
That really puts it in perspective.
And Adnan Ali shared his experience. He landed a job in the US but felt intensely lonely, fell into depression because of the hectic work schedule. He ultimately moved back with, in his words, no regrets. These aren't just career decisions, are they? They're deeply personal choices about well-being, about what makes a life fulfilling.
That resonates so much with discussions you see online. I remember reading about a Google software engineer on an H-1B visa. She was debating moving back to India, driven by missing family, festivals, the constant stress of visa uncertainty. Even though her boyfriend wanted to stay in the U.S., this life versus work dilemma seems particularly acute sometimes, maybe especially for women.
Yeah, the conversations online often highlight this intense NRI guilt, as some call it. Guilt over aging parents, missing family moments, kids growing up away from grandparents. Many point out the increasing difficulty and expense of making annual trips back, especially once you have children. There's a strong sentiment you see sometimes. If you want to make the move, now is the time, else you were never moving. Because ties in the U.S. just naturally get stronger over time.
It becomes harder to leave.
Exactly. And that quote you mentioned earlier, no future is worth sacrificing the present. That really encapsulates this evolving mindset for many. Hyderabad, in particular, keeps coming up. It attracts many returning professionals. It's got the booming IT sector, sure, but also a lower cost of living compared to major U.S. or European hubs, and a reputation as a safe, family-friendly city. It's becoming a really powerful hub for those seeking both career growth and a better quality of life back home.
Right. So let's try and summarize this complex picture. Our deep dive today has really illuminated the complex choices faced by Indian IT professionals on the global stage. We've seen the significant opportunities available in Europe, driven by labor shortages and increasingly welcoming policies in many places. Simultaneously, we've explored the profound personal and systemic challenges of working in the U.S., particularly the mental health impact of restrictive visa policies like the H-4 work restrictions and that truly daunting green card backlog. And this whole landscape is actively shifting. We're seeing a growing number of skilled individuals choosing reverse migration back to India, driven not just by economic factors anymore, but increasingly by this deep desire for family connection, mental well-being, and simply a better overall quality of life in their home country. All the best, and we will meet again with another important matter again.